Amen, amen. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, everyone. What a beautiful day. It feels like a holy and precious and sacred season, doesn't it? I just love it. I'm so grateful. Today we're going to prepare the way for Christ consciousness, the birth of the Christ in us. Many religions celebrate the birth of Jesus into the world, but he came and his message was to acknowledge the Christ in you, that light in you. Christ meaning the divine light, that divine spirit that's in the core, at the essence. It's your essence. It's the essence of everyone. And a new birth, the birth of a new world, begins with the birth of a new you. In this season of our lives, when the Christ Spirit finds its expression in the world, it will find its expression through you. Deep within you is the child of the Most High. Magnificent, perfect, whole, powerful, loving, eternally loving, and free. Christ in you is the hope of glory. That was Charles Fillmore's favorite scripture from Colossians. Christ in you is the hope of glory. It's the second principle of unity, that the divine spark of Christ is in every individual. No one is beyond the awareness that that is true. There is nowhere you can hide from who you really are. My mind was preoccupied with worldly events this week. We prayed a lot for Aleppo, for people attempting to escape from there. Our friends up in North Dakota who are braving the cold to make a stand for clean water. Native Americans. And I was really actually distracted in all of that, having a hard time, having a little trouble finding that powerful, unlimited, unconditional, loving Christ consciousness within me. And I realized it clicked. It coming into church one morning, it clicked in my mind. What was happening was I was caught in the problem and not in the solution. And it's singular. And you have to be totally focused on the solution, or the problem becomes too much for you. And that's where complacency sets in. That's when apathy sets in. It's too much. I can't do anything about all this stuff. Well, yes, we can. Yes, I can as an individual, because prayer is powerful. And the Christ consciousness, praying in Christ consciousness, is the most powerful thing in the whole world. And I love it because we get together and we do it. We do it on Wednesday, on Thursday night. We do it on Sunday. We do it in all our classes, our workshops, in the song lyrics, in our relationships. And our lives are becoming more and more in alignment with that Christ consciousness. Now, the interesting thing is that morning, what really turned it around in my mind, I was coming here and I stopped for breakfast at this little restaurant, the Morning Glory in Marston's Mills. And there's only about 4 tables in there. It's a really small place. And above the table I was going to sit at was these beautiful paintings of butterflies in various stages of their life. And it hit me. The birth of the Christ. What is that? It hit me. You know where I'm going with this. Metamorphosis. The butterfly starts out like a caterpillar, and it wraps itself in a cocoon. And we get so comfortable in the cocoon, we think that's the only reality there is. We don't know. We have no idea of that magnificent butterfly that we are becoming. We have no idea because it's actually turning into something completely different. But rather than judge yourself in the cocoon is a place of protection. You're protecting yourself with the truth. You're wrapping yourself in the truth. This is a beautiful time for you. It's not a time to judge against yourself. It's a time to realize that this is the perfect place to be. I don't need to worry about the future. It will unfold and evolve perfectly, just the way it is supposed to evolve. So when I was sitting there and I was thinking about these magnificent butterflies and feeling like a caterpillar in the cocoon that day, I thought, this is the process of rebirth. This is the process of Christ coming forth in me. Spending time in the silence, spending time in meditation, spending time reading and absorbing teachings of truth, singing about the truth, being with others in meditation, in prayer. All of that is surrounding yourself with the energy needed. You're actually impacting the future butterfly. You're writing, you're downloading, and you're putting all the information into that cocoon so that future butterfly will have all of that information when it goes out into the world. When it begins to fly, it will have everything it needs because you spent time in that cocoon. It's just like Jesus needed time. He came, he was born just like you and me. He was born into a manger, and that was the perfect place. He didn't want to be if he wanted to be in the inn, I think there would have been a room available. The manger seemed more cozy and comfortable, and the Magi found him out there. These were one of them was the Astrozorian. I don't know if you know about them. This is the ancient astrologers. They followed the stars. And there was others that followed the prophecy. And there were others that followed what they were told by their folk stories and their folk tales. Before the written word, we passed everything on, just like we're passing it on here, from one person to another in a story. And these stories are important because they are about you. We've lost the fact that they're always about us, and we tried to make it about somebody else. So we worship this guy, Jesus. But here, I prefer to look at Christmas as the time of Christ being born in me. How wonderful to think of it that way, because everything God is, that's what you are right now. And everything is coming into a manifestation in a perfect divine metamorphosis. When that caterpillar was sitting on the tree, he saw a butterfly flying by. He must have said, boy, I would love to be like that. I would love to be flying and free. I'm inching my way along here on this branch. Look at this creature, this magnificent, colorful, beautiful, graceful creature flying by, having no idea that that's going to be you in a moment. Not one idea. Oh boy, I wish I could be like Jesus. I wish I could be like the Buddha. If you really wished it, you'd be doing it. You would be that, because just in a moment, turn around and you're going to be that. You are that already. That's the teachings of truth, of unity, of any truth teaching, is that you are already everything that God is right now. And yet it will manifest in you in the perfect way it needs to. Because you can't accept that you are that butterfly if your experience is the caterpillar. It doesn't compute. It's not reasonable to you that that's actually you flying around. But we need to start to look at things that way. And in that way, I will wrap myself in a cocoon and protect myself with light and with love. I won't be fearful of what's going to come because I know it's going to be magnificent. I know it's going to be exactly what I need to demonstrate who I am in this world. What I love about the idea that we get together and celebrate the birth of a teacher, a brother, a way shower like Jesus, is that he wasn't afraid to heal the sick and raise the dead. He wasn't afraid to walk on the water. He wasn't afraid to turn the water into wine, or at the 12-step meeting, turn the wine back into water. He wasn't afraid to do those things. So when we started to idolize Jesus, what did he say to his disciples in John 14? We started to idolize him. He said, wait a minute. Greater things than I have done will you do, because I'm going unto the Father, where you are already. Greater things will you do. When I first heard that, I wondered, how is that possible? How is that possible? How could I do anything like that? It's not in my consciousness. Think back to the caterpillar. Wow, that's a beautiful butterfly. There's not even a thought in the consciousness of the caterpillar that that's going to be him in 1 minute, that I'll be flying around. And it's the same with us until it happens, until that first person is healed through your prayers. So that first person wakes up from their separate state and their depression and their conflict and their anger because of you. When that first person, because you prayed for them, maybe laid hands on them or gave them a Reiki session or simply sat with them in their time of need and they were healed and changed. When that happens, you know it's possible. And it's not only possible, some of you have begun to see that that is what your purpose is in life. And no matter where you find yourself, my friends, no matter what your profession seems to be or what your story seems to be here, that perfect divine being within you is going to come forth. It's a natural evolution, and it's a natural metamorphosis that's taking place. And so we celebrate in this time of Christmas. We always say that God's Spirit moves in me, through me, and as me. And that's the one where unity takes a whole step, a whole giant quantum leap above the religious thinking of the world. Unity is not actually a religion, it's a spiritual movement. It's a spiritual movement that has drawn from all religions and continues to grow and to expand and express the truth from all religions, from all spiritual paths. But it's focused on following our way shower, who showed up and said, you can demonstrate God. You must demonstrate God because you were created by God. And for that to happen, that Christ Spirit needs to come into my awareness. I need to be born into Christ. It needs to come through me, to me, through me, and finally as me. Let it come to you. Let it come through you. And it will be you without you even trying. Just like the breath, just like the universe is breathing you, you'll be representing the divinity within you without even trying, because it's what you are and it's so natural. If we focus the power of our minds on the perfect child of God within, instead of idolizing and worshiping someone out there, then we truly will remember that we were born blessed in original innocence. We were born like this. We were born as the perfect child of God already. You don't have to work to get to heaven. You're already there. It's just a matter of awareness, my friends. So we gather together and we join in this awareness. And every little spark of this awareness will be like one of these lights on the tree. That's my spark. There's yours. There's the next person's, the next person's. And look what happens. We have a beautiful demonstration of God's love, sparkling as one perfect manifestation of divine Spirit. All I had to do was put my light on the tree. I'm not judging the light next to me. Oh, I don't like this one. I'll take that one out. He's crowding my light. I'm going to take that one out of there. I don't like that. Now what happened? Oh my God. That tree doesn't look right anymore. Doesn't look the same, does it? Because one thought was rejected. One person was rejected in my idea of what I think the world should look like, what I think God is. I'm opening up this season to the Christ within me. I want to know and feel and experience my original innocence, that I was born blessed, and so were you. So this Christmas, we celebrate you. We are celebrating your perfect Christ self, making up a perfect demonstration of what Christmas is all about. I love you so much. Namaste.
You have been watching the message from our Sunday celebration service here at Unity on Cape Cod, providing a positive path for spiritual living. Please join us every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. at 147 Walton Ave, Hyannis, Mass. And visit us online at www.unityoncapecod.org.